I'm back.
Okay, good to have you on the video testimony project. Tell us your name.
Okay, my name is Dawson Vander.
Dawson, tell us your story.
Okay, I live by a small town. I actually live out in the country, but I live by a small town in southwest Minnesota. So, this story starts about a year and a half ago. About a year and a half ago, I looked into getting an electric bike because I wanted to save on gas, and the gas is expensive, and I didn't have to pay for the electricity because my parents paid for the electricity. So this would save me a lot of money, and then we live about 6 miles outside of town, so I could just take my bike, get to town, and go with friends, go to youth group, go to work. There's actually a bike trail about a half a mile from our house that goes the 6 miles into town. So I got this electric bike. I took the bike to the bike trail, and then I just went all the way to town. The accident happened about May 15. Yeah, May 15 was the date. I was riding to youth group on a Sunday night because we have youth group every Sunday night, and I was about a mile outside of town, about to cross a gravel road, the only section of the trail that has trees because it's southwest Minnesota. There's not many trees, so I couldn't see the road. I didn't stop. I should have, but then there was a pickup truck coming at the same time. I was crossing the road. I was hit by a pickup truck. My bike was completely totaled. The pickup truck is actually totaled. It's not working anymore. I was taken to the hospital in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I was taken there. I stayed there for 70 days, I believe it was. The first portion of which I could not walk, I could not talk, I wasn't even awake. I was in a coma, medically induced for some of that because they didn't think I could handle all the drama I went through. It was bad. I got out of the hospital July 26-ish, so about a year ago I got out of the hospital from where I was. The doctors were surprised I could even walk. When I first got to the hospital, they gave me a 10% chance to live. I should not have made it. But I did. I'm here. They were surprised I lived. They were surprised I could walk, and life went back to normal. But then, when I got out of the hospital, I was like, yes, I lived. And then I was like, oh, I lived. My athletic ability was thrown out the window. I could not do what I could before, nearly, not even close. So I became depressed. I became suicidal. I was always a Christian because I was going to youth group, but I was never really living out my faith. I went to church every Sunday. I actually go to a Christian school, private Christian school, but I was never really living out my faith. I never talked to anybody about it. I always acted like the good kid in front of my school, in front of youth group, but I never really was the good kid. So yeah, I was depressed, I was suicidal. That lasted for about a month out of the hospital. Then school started this past school year, and I needed to change. I realized my life needed to change. This was not going where I needed it to go. So I started to live out my faith. I started to live out what the pastor said every Sunday, what my youth pastor said at youth group every week, what I heard in Bible class. I started to actually live out my faith, actually act like a Christian. I was always a Christian, but I wouldn't say I was ever a real Christian until a year ago. And that brought me out of that suicidal depression. That brought me out of the darkest place I have ever been. And now I'm up, I'm walking, I'm talking to people when I should not be alive. What I went through hurt me a lot. It ruined my life for a little bit there, but it has taught me so much. And if what I went through, if I share it and it helps one person in any way closer to God, then it's worth it. It is worth it by far. I would not trade this past year and a half for anything, for what it's taught me. Jesus saved my life thousands of years ago when he died on the cross. And Jesus saved my life a little over a year ago again. And my life is his. It really is. He saved my life twice now. I can't believe he did that for me. I don't know why he did that for me, but my life is his.
Praise God.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing your testimony.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dawson.
No problem. Second time.
Yeah, appreciate that. Sorry.